entrepreneurship, but it would be good if you can actually keep your questions to building your own sort of personal brand. So the format is simple. All you have to do is just ask your questions in the comment section, and I would be happy to respond to them. I'll go through all of the questions and go through them straight away. But before anything, today I want to talk about today's topic, which is how to build your personal brand. Now, first of all, it's really important to understand what is a personal brand and why it is important to build your own personal brand. Okay, so you must have heard of the organizational brands, like, whenever we buy something, we like to buy branded things. So you like to buy branded T-shirt, branded shirts, or branded phones, or branded cars, and so we all love brands. Like, the reason we love brand is because brand represents the experience, brand represents the trust, brand represents the integrity, brand represents the connection that people have with you. Similarly, the way you have brands, or the way your brand has got value, your personal brand is extremely important, because your personal brand actually defines who you are, and it also defines what how you can actually benefit someone else. So, for example, when if I ask you who you are, and if you tell me, okay, I am a mechanical engineer, or I'm an electrical engineer, or I'm a journalist, that tells me something about you, but doesn't tell me specifically who you are, because there would be so many journalists out there. There would be so many engineers out there. There are so many marketers out there. So the thing is that I of course, just saying that I'm an engineer or I'm a marketer is fine, but that doesn't define who you actually are and how you can help me, or how you can be of any value. So personal brand is actually about defining who you exactly are. I'll give you an example. Uh, so if you look at any of the famous people, and for example, Sachin Tendulkar, what is his personal brand? Sachin Tendulkar, if Sachin says I'm a cricketer, that would not be true, because Sachin has been like one of the most talented batsmen that you have ever seen. So that's his brand. Steve Jobs. So Steve Jobs is not another founder. Steve Jobs is not just an entrepreneur. His personal brand is about creativity. It's about creating things that are actually beautiful, but innovative and easy to use as well. Uh, if you look at Elon Musk, he's got its own brand as well. So the thing is that everyone who is successful out there, who is famous out there, have their own personal brand. And that personal brand is extremely important for your career growth, because that tells you that tells everyone who you exactly are. So if you ask me what is my personal brand, you can actually you can ask my clients, how do you know Amir, what is his personal brand? And they will tell you that Amir is the person that if you have got any business problem and you need a technical solution for that, then Amir is the man to go. That's my personal brand. So my personal brand is about taking real world problems, whether those are business problems or real world problems, and then finding a digital solution for them. So that's what differentiates me from everyone that's out there. Similarly, you have to go and identify what's your personal brand. So rather than saying, okay, I am a mechanical engineer, I'm a computer engineer, I'm an electrical engineer, or so on, you need to identify who you exactly are. What is that one problem that you can solve? What is that one challenge that you can solve? And that defines your personal brand as well. So extremely important to identify that one thing. So Arif is asking, what are we talking about? Arif, we are actually talking about building your personal brand, identifying who we are exactly, uh, and what value do we provide to the world. So that's why it's really important to identify what is your personal brand, what do you actually stand for, how you can help people, and that personal brand should reflect everywhere. So it should reflect on your LinkedIn profile, it should reflect on your Instagram profile as well. So rather than in your LinkedIn profile just saying that you are again an engineer, or whatever, marketing manager at this firm or something like that, is not enough. You have to actually tell, when someone is reading your profile, they are looking at you, you need to tell them who you exactly are. What is that one thing to the table that you can provide that others cannot provide? How do you differentiate yourself from the rest of the crowd? Because there are so many people in every profession out there, and a lot of people ask me, how to find a good job or how to build a successful business. Even to find a good job or even to find a successful business, you need to have and develop and establish your own personal brand. And that starts by identifying why is it what you want do what you do, and exactly how can you solve someone's problem. What is that one challenge or one problem that you can solve for the people? So the whole interview process and the whole recruitment process that a company goes through comes to one single thing, and that is, if I am hiring this person, how can they solve my need or solve my person? The whole entrepreneurship or whole business comes to one single thing. When a customer is buying something from you, a product or a service, it doesn't matter what, it comes down to one problem: how can this company or product solve my need or solve my problem? So your personal brand comes to one single thing, which is how do you solve someone's need and someone's problem. So now what I'll do is I'll take questions from here, and then I'll come back to the personal brand thing. But if you have got any questions about building your own personal brand, feel free to ask any questions that you might have. All right, so let's take on the comments, guys. Mohammad Mahmood, Assalamu alaikum bhai. Walaikum assalam. Mahmood bhai. Mustafa, Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum assalam. Shubham Kumar, how to start from zero? Shubham, zero is a very nice place to actually start from. So you start from zero by identifying what is that one thing that you are interested in, and what is that one thing that you are passionate about. Now you can't find your passion straight away. What you have to do is you have to try by just trying interesting things. For example, if you think that you have got interest in marketing, right, what you could do is you could start by doing small Fiverr gigs and freelancing gigs on marketing, right? Start by doing some of the free available courses, but not just doing the course here, but actually implementing that knowledge. Now once you move forward in that field, you might find out either you are interested or you are not interested. If you are not interested, that's fine. Move into the next direction and try that thing. Move into the next direction, try that thing. At this stage, after establishing so many companies and investing in so many startups, I still try and explore the new things that I feel interested in. So if I look at something and I feel, okay, that's great, that's something that I would like to explore, I just develop a plan straight away and start working on it. And that's how you actually start from zero. So first you have to identify what you're interested in. From there you have to identify what you're passionate about, and then just start working towards it straight away. I hope I answered that question, but if you have got any follow-up questions, feel free to ask me in the comment section. Ruby Seni, how to become an entrepreneur? Ruby, to become an entrepreneur, the most important thing is to be able to identify the problem or the need that's out there, and then identify a way to solve that problem. Now, this might sound a bit odd, because people will tell you to be an entrepreneur, you might have to do an MBA or think about profit or something like that. Everything comes later on. The very first skill that you need to have as an entrepreneur is identifying what are the needs of the market or the people, what are the problems out there, and how you are going to solve them. So you can solve them via service, or you could solve them via product. And I give an example of Uber all the time. It's one of my favorite ones. The taxi industry was in a huge problem. Customers had problem calling the taxis. It was all shady business. So what Uber did was Uber disrupted the market by solving this problem. And that's an example of a product solving a problem. Similarly, services solving a problem. So for example, when I came to Australia, I identified there were so many service providers for larger organization, but there was a space about medium to large organizations who, when they had business problem, they did not have any organization to help them solve their technical issues. Not technical issues, but business issues via technical solutions. So that's where I found that there was a need, there was a problem, and I developed a business to solve that problem. So that's an example of service business. So you become an entrepreneur, first of all, by identifying the problem and then developing a business plan or business model to develop. Now, if you want to find out business model, go to amirkutub.com. You can download business model canvas from here. But you will also find my video, my last video on how to fill your business model canvas. You can actually watch that and fill that. So that's your business planning. Once you do that, then you start implementing it one by one, and you'll find that information in my videos. uh Arif Khan, what are we talking about? I think that we already covered. Ruby Sani, I want to become an entrepreneur. That's great, Ruby. It's a good start. Look, first of all, what I want to tell you is there's nothing really challenging. Or like there is entrepreneurship in itself is definitely challenging, but there's nothing really impossible about entrepreneurship. You don't need extra skills to be an entrepreneur. You don't need to do any extra course to be an entrepreneur. The way you learn entrepreneurship is actually by learning, by doing, making mistakes, failing in your trials, and then learning from those mistakes. That's a very natural process of learning entrepreneurship. So if you are interested in entrepreneurship, do not wait, start trying from tonight. So right now, tonight, go to amirkutub.com, download business model canvas, fill it, create your business plan, and then start executing it straight away. Otherwise, you would just be thinking that I want to become an entrepreneur, but you would never take that first step. That's extremely, extremely important to take that first step. Mustafa Ali, how long will you be here, sir? Mustafa, I will be here only for an hour. I think we have already passed 13 minutes, so another 47 minutes. Arif Khan, thank you so much. Sir Hussain, on what parameters we have to compare our brand with another? So, sir, we don't need to compare our brand with another person. What we have to identify is, first of all, what problem are we solving, or what need are we solving, right? What is that one particular need that we are solving for the organization, for other people? Then from there, need to identify, okay, who are our competitors, who are some of the other competitors that are actually out there. But then, sorry, before that, you have to identify who are your customers. Everyone cannot be your customer, so you have to identify who are the people who would be interested in you, in your services, or in your products, or in hiring you as an employee. Next thing is you have to look around and find out who are the similar people in your market, who are your competitors, and then you have to identify how are you better than your competitors. Like, what is that USP, unique selling proposition, that you have that other people do not have? Now, a lot of people do this. They say that I'm a hard worker, I'm an innovative person, I'm outward thinking, and blah blah blah. That's fine. Everyone says that, everyone writes that on their CV. Every company claims to be the best and the most professional and blah blah. The thing is that your words are empty if you haven't proven them via previous experience. So whenever you are saying that I've got leadership skills, then you should have some experience. It doesn't need to be work experience, could be an extracurricular experience or any life experience that actually tells other people what type of experience that you have, so that you can substantiate that experience. Sharik Zadi, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. MS Hussain, please share your big mistake in life from where you begin your entrepreneurship journey, because I don't want to repeat that mistake. So MS Hussain, two mistakes that I actually had in my life, and both are interlinked. So what happened was, I established a business and my business was going fine. I grew my team to around 15 people. So I actually had 15 people in my team. My turnover was pretty well at that point of time. I think around $400,000. So that was my turnaround. We had a nice, decent team. The business was growing, but I was not profitable, and there was a lot of chaos in my business. I was trying to manage everything. It was like very chaotic. It was easily manageable when we were like 10 people. I was able to manage and oversee everything, but I was just onboarding more and more clients. It was like extremely chaotic. And because of the issues with the profitability, I suffered with cash flow. To recover my cash flow, what I ended up doing was I ended up taking finance from a private company, because I was not a citizen, and I did not have credit history, so I could not get loan from big banks. So I actually had to go and get a loan on extremely high interest from a private lender. So I took one loan, and I thought, now I'll pay it back. It has to be paid back in 12 months. And I took that loan, but the situation did not improve. I paid my salaries and everything, but then I was short of cash again. So after 3 months I took another loan, and after 3 months I took another loan. So in the span of 6 months, I took total loans worth around $100,000. And my business was still in loss. My customers were angry, my staff was not happy because salaries were getting delayed. So it was an extremely challenging time for me, and that's when I thought maybe I have done a very big mistake by being an entrepreneur. Maybe I'm not good fit for it. Maybe I should give up. And I was about to give up, but then I thought, if I do not identify what was the mistakes that I made, then I would not probably be able to live with myself. So what I did was I stopped whatever I was doing. Like literally sort of locked myself in a room with my whiteboard and just started identifying everything, looking at what were the challenges and the problem. Then I started reaching out back to my customers and sort of identifying with them what's happening, why are the things going wrong. I reached out to mentors and told them about the situation. I reached out to experts. And after around 1 month of analysis, what I identified was that I was trying to grow my business, but I did not have my business processes very well documented. My business was running, and I was the one, I was actually involved in the running of my business, and was all dependent on me, and the processes were not very well defined. So it was like just happening on the go. And then I was trying to scale that business. The second thing that I was doing was I was trying to bring more clients on board. you know uh, I was not caring about the price that I was charging, because I had cash flow, negative cash flow. So I was just bringing more clients on board, and that was creating more problems for me, because I was getting more sales, but the profitability was low because my costs were high as well. So I ended up redesigning my whole business model. I changed my service offering. I changed my pricing. I fired 80% of my clients. I said, sorry, we can't work with you anymore because our pricing have changed. What I also did was I documented each and every single activity into a process management guide or manual for my organization. Things as simple as, if this goes wrong, what to do in that case. Each and every single step of the customer journey was defined and mapped out. I manually wrote all of the processes, and I involved my team to then sort of write further process with me. And then with the help of those processes, I redefined my whole organization. I was able to pay that debt in 6 months, but I was also able to recover and sort of go into a profitable position again. So these two were the biggest mistakes of my life: trying to establish and grow my business without looking at my processes and without looking at my balance sheet. And secondly, was actually taking private loan to fund my cash flow. Never do that. Aman Patel, Ruby Sani, DM me for complete entrepreneurs HIP process. Okay. Jiten Chaudhary, good evening. Good evening, sir. Ruby Sani, Aman Patel, sure. Okay. All right. I don't know what Aman is selling over here or offering over here. The only thing, I'm not sure if maybe it would provide something beneficial or not. The only thing that I would like you to caution of there is that if someone tells you that they are going to teach you entrepreneurship and it's going to be extremely easy, or if someone tells you, you can double your money in whatever 3 months or 6 months or something like that, if someone tells you about multi-level marketing, stay away from that. If someone tells you about a scheme where you just don't have to do anything and you just have to put your money and then it will grow, stay away from that, because entrepreneurship is extremely difficult. So if you want to learn entrepreneurship, from me, the very first thing that I'll teach you is that be prepared for a long haul. It's not a, and there are no sureties in entrepreneurship. 80% of entrepreneurs fail. 98% of startup ideas fails as well. The reason I'm saying 80% of entrepreneurs fails because 80% are the ones who give up. The 20% who are successful, they are not successful in the first time. They fail for the first time, fail for the second time, then they are successful in their third or fourth attempt. That's a natural way to learn entrepreneurship. No course can teach you entrepreneurship. You have to be willing to fail. Of course, you can de-risk your entrepreneurship. You can learn some of the basics and things like that, but then there is a lot of risk in entrepreneurship. There's a lot of challenge in entrepreneurship. You have to sacrifice a lot. You have to sacrifice your personal life. You have to sacrifice your financial security. You have to sacrifice your uh, leisure time. You have to sacrifice your Netflix time. You have to sacrifice your TikTok time. So you have to sacrifice a lot if you want to be in entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship is not something that's easy. And if someone tells you that it's easy, then just stay away from them. Lucky Ali Khan, how to improve sales and marketing. Uh, Lucky, to improve sales and marketing, you need to have a very clear value proposition. So, what is value proposition is, you first of all need to identify who your customers are, what are their needs, what are their problem, and then you have to have a very clear idea of how are you going to solve that problem, and then you have to position yourself as a leader in solving that problem or need. So again, I'll give you some examples. uh, Red Bull. Red Bull saw a need that there are a lot of people who are gym junkies, or like people who are in active sports and things like that, and their need is they need something that gives them that instant kick. So Red Bull came up with this, positioned themselves as someone who could actually solve that need or solve that problem. So that was a product that they launched from there. Now, there was a need out there that everyone who likes to listen to songs, they just had to carry these big Walkmans, Sony Walkmans, and then they needed a cassette, but that cassette had a very less storage. So people had that need, that first of all there was a problem that they could not carry all the cassettes with them. Then there was a need to actually have something simpler that would fit in their pockets. So that's when Steve Jobs came up with an idea of an iPod, and then positioned it like that. So the thing is that, when they say ganje ko kangi bechna, or sell this pen to someone, it doesn't work like that. The thing is that you can only sell something to someone if they perceive it as a need, right? And if they have a genuine need. So rather than thinking of coming up with a product or service and then just pushing it out to your customers, you need to identify the problem that you are trying to solve, that, and then position your product or company to be able to solve that problem. Now, the purpose of the marketing is actually to push that message out. So once you have developed that message, that this is how we are going to solve your problem, then how do you actually reach out to them? That's where social media plays a huge role. So when you talk about social media, generally the way companies would post is they will do some Instagram ads, posts, things like that. But the most important thing that I would recommend you, especially if you're starting up, is that you have to start putting your own personality behind it. First of all, rather than just posting about your brand, post about you as a founder or you as a marketer, and then tell customers about the real story behind your product or service. Actually do, rather than just sort of like writing posts or getting someone to do images, do lives, like do reels on Instagram, do IGTV videos, do videos on LinkedIn. And it's very simple. You don't have to be extremely professional. Just take your phone, shoot videos in your phone, as simple as that. And if you're in your factory, if you're in your office, just talk about your process every single day. That will actually help you increase your reach. Of course, the organic reach in Instagram is dead. Look at other platforms that are coming up. LinkedIn is a great platform to increase your reach, because LinkedIn has got a huge organic reach, and the way you get your reach on LinkedIn is actually uh, by posting stories. Rather than selling the product, you have to provide the value to the customers. So educate the customers about the problem, and educate the customers about the solution. Once you have educated them enough, then you would be able to sell to them. Now there are other methodologies like funnel marketing and things like that. This is a huge topic in itself, but the fundamental remains the same. Identify what is their pain point and what is their problem. Sell them the solution to that problem. Don't sell them the product itself. That's one of the most important teaching I can give you over there. uh, Rohit Rashinkar, Dr. Evim said, if you're a man of zero, you are a hero. That's actually pretty true. And I think it's a great quote. If you're a man of zero, you are a hero. That's right. Aman Patel, yes, we are entrepreneur developers and HR professionals. So Aman, that's great. If you are doing that, congratulations on doing that. Again, if you are teaching entrepreneurship and telling it to people, the only advice would be to actually tell them upfront how difficult and challenging it could be and what could be their effect. And if the person is passionate about entrepreneurship, then they would accept these challenges and then go into entrepreneurship, knowing all of that. But it's just like a disclaimer thing. If you put someone on a roller coaster ride, you get them to fill a form. Before a surgery, you get people to fill a form. So it's like, if you are coming in entrepreneurship, let them know that these could be the challenges, and there are no guarantees in entrepreneurship. And I think that's probably the most important thing. Mustafa Ali, I have some real world problem. I want to convert it into business. How can I? That's a great question, Mustafa. So you've got a problem. Then, for example, if I will tell to you from example, because I don't know what real world problem that you're talking about. So I saw this real world problem in COVID. In Australia, what happens is that neighbors are not very mingled with each other. So, in India, everyone would know each other and neighbors are connected. In Australia, it's generally not the case, especially in spread out suburbs. And what I identified was there are so many people who are at high risk, who are at their old ages, living alone. Their sons and their kids are somewhere else, and because they had to stay in lockdown and they could not come out of their house, they had to be in isolation. And if they needed something, who would they ask? Like, their kids are somewhere else, they cannot ask them. There is a travel limitation as well. So I ended up developing an application called Angel Next Door that would allow anyone in need to post their help request, and then their neighbors in their location would see that help request and then come and offer them help. So the way I approached it was, I identify the problem. I then identify how big that problem is. Then I looked at, okay, what could be the solution for this. Now the solution did not come to my mind just by like that, not because I'm genius, but because, and trust me, I'm not, like, I have been always an average student, an average person as well. I see some of the amazing people that are actually out there who do great stuff. The way I do things is that I learn things from outside of the world. So when I looked at this problem, thought this is probably a communication problem. Then I started looking around, what could be the different solutions that are out there. So I could not find an exact solution, but then I found out that this is probably a similar situation when you need something, when you are looking for a product or a service, and then you post the request, and then there are people who offer to help, like on OLX or whatever those websites are, Urban Clap, or in Australia this is High Pages, and so on. So I took inspiration from those products and then applied the same logic in this case. So what you could do is, once you have identified the real world problem, look at the solutions out there for similar problems, and then take inspiration from there, develop that solution, like do a business plan, a business model canvas. Go to amirkutub.com, download the business model canvas from there, fill it in, and then start working on it from there. And that's how you do it. If you do not have the funds to do it, then what you do is you validate that problem, develop a very basic minimum viable product, a very simplistic form of the product, test it in the market, and then raise investment from there. Now, if you know how to want to know how to raise investment, how to do a pitch, I've got a resource on my website as well. A startup pitch blueprint. You can actually download it and find out how to actually get a pitch done. Sujit Meher, hi sir. Hi Sujit. Sharik Zadi, zero base budget and wish to start educational institute. How to search investor? Sharik, if you want to start educational institute, if you reach out to any investor, there are 5 questions that investors ask. Number one, what problem are you solving? Number two, who are your customers? Number three, who are your competitors? You would be able to answer these three. Number fourth question that they will ask is, how are you better than your competitors? How are you stronger than your competitors? Now, if you are trying to open an educational institute, there are so many educational institutes out there. There are so many powerful people. How would an investor get his money back on an institute that you open? How are you solving a problem that's big enough that no one else is solving, right? And that's where you're going to get stuck. However, an alternate way to do something in education is, first of all, ed tech. Education tech is pretty huge as well. You don't need to create physical institute. So an educational institute, establishing an education institute, is an expensive exercise as well. But if you are doing a virtual education institute and a technology startup, then it's much lesser investment. Investors would be interested in investing as well. So as I said, the very number one step, develop a business model canvas. Go to amirkutub.com, download the business model canvas. It's free. You can download it from there. Secondly, prepare your startup pitch. And then you can actually, again, find the guide on how to prepare a startup pitch on my website. And third is reach out to investors. I actually have done a video on how to reach out to investors. I'll do a proper detailed video on how to find the investors. But you can find the investors on LinkedIn, meetup.com, join all the startup meetups. And then you can find investors on angel.co, angel.co. And what was the other one? In Australia, there's a website called gust.com, but you can also do a Google search and search for Delhi Angels or Mumbai Angels or wherever you are. Just look for Pune Angels, any metropolitan cities, and you will be able to find the details of the angels themselves. All right, we grow talks. Do we have to create a personal brand related to our business, or we can create our personal brand anything? We grow, I think it's a very good question. What I would suggest is that the reason you are building a personal brand is because you want to establish yourself as a leader in that space, and so that it could develop benefit you in your business, or it could benefit you in your career. Now, if you do not want to use your personal brand in helping your business, you can create it in any field. But the thing is that that personal brand would be useless, right? So the reason that you are developing your personal brand is so it can help you in your job, or it can help you with your business, because people don't do business with businesses. People do businesses with the people themselves. So that's why your personal brand should be actually aligned to your business. It doesn't need to align to your business directly, but needs to be aligned to your business vaguely, so that people could look at you and relate with what you do, and so that it can benefit your business and can benefit your professional career as well. All right, guys, next question. Jiten Chaudhary, I have a manufacturing unit of kids' ready-made garments, seeking some good investors or any foreign trader. Can you please help me? I'm from Kolkata, India. Jitendra, the first thing that I would actually encourage you to do is, first of all, what you have to do is, first of all, you have to update your LinkedIn profile. let me identify what's. I'll share my screen with you guys, and let's look at Jiten's profile and just do a quick audit of Jiten's profile. And okay, so Jiten, this is your profile. First of all, the very first thing that I would encourage you to do is, first of all, update your profile, because I hope you guys can see it. All right. Okay. So the very first thing that I could notice over here is your cover picture is actually missing. You have got a pic of yourself. You could actually do a nice professional pic, probably with your clothes. The next thing that you have to do is you have to use this thing pretty clearly, and identify what problem or what need you are solving. So the need that you are solving is that you are doing ready-made garments for kids. So what you have to do is you have to actually to show your expertise, and you have to write a nice headline that tells anyone who's looking at uh, your profile what you exactly do and how you can actually help them. So it could be something like exporter of ready-made garments or manufacturer or something like that. Something pretty clear. I think your about profile is good, but it's very less as well. So you have to ensure that you do that. The second thing is that I cannot see your website over here anywhere, right? If you have to do business internationally, then your website should be up and front, and everyone should be able to actually view your website. So it should be a very nice clear website. You should have a LinkedIn company over here as well. What the name of your LinkedIn company, so that people could actually view its profile. So that's the very first step, is that you have to ensure that you improve your profile. The second thing that I would do is that I'll start uh, searching for garment importers, or just importers in different countries on LinkedIn itself, right? You don't need to get a list or something like that. And you would actually see the list of the people over here. If you guys can see, managing director, import of luxury Italian furniture, import of fab Japanese ingredients, and so on. And what I'll start doing is I'll start actually reaching out to those people. I'll actually go to their profile, send them a connection invite with a note, and in this note, hey, say, hi Anita, I looked at your profile. You are doing some amazing work. I'm really impressed by the stuff that you are doing. I am a manufacturer from India, and this is what I do. I would like to connect with you. And rather than just saying I want to sell this thing to you or something like that, and seek some of your advice. And don't think that don't worry if they're importing kids garments or whatever. Just connect with those people and make genuine connections. And every single look, there are so many results out there. There are 306,000 results that are out there. What you have to do is you have to take 2 hours out of your day every single day, reach out to 50 people every single day, send them a connection request, and make genuine connections. And once you have made genuine connections, talk to them, start conversating with them. And from there, once you have talked to them, that's when you start asking them that I've got these products, how can I actually import it? Because, for example, I could help you. I might be able to connect you with one of the importers. It might work for you, but it might not work for you. But what I'm telling you is that if you reach out to 50 importers every single day for the next 30 days, you would be able to reach out to 1,500 importers in a month, 4,500 importers in 3 months. If you convert four out of them, four out of 4,000, four importers out of 4,000, then your business would be at a completely different level. So that's the power of LinkedIn. That's the power of building your sort of own personal brand. And that's the power of making that connection. So improve your LinkedIn profile, get a nice website up and running, And number three is reach out to 50 people on 50 importers on LinkedIn every single day and make genuine connection. It will really help you. Jitendra, let me know if that tip was useful. And guys, if you're listening out there, the way I explained it, if you think that is applicable in your business as well, please let me know in the comment section. I would really like to know what I'm telling you. Is it useful or not? What do you think about it? Aman Patel, first your resume, then all details. Okay. इनकी अपनी बात चल रही है अमन की, जो वो पूरा चैट में चल रहा है. गुड वर्क, कीप इट अप. लुक, वी आर अ कम्युनिटी एंड अगर हम लोग आपस में कनेक्ट हो सकते हैं, एक दूसरे की हेल्प कर सकते हैं, तो गो फॉर इट. ओके, वसीम है कि हाउ टू एक्सप्लोर ओन ब्रांड. तो वसीम, all right, let's visit your profile. Let's help you. Let's see what have you got in your profile right now, and I'll tell you how we can actually. So Wasim, you are a software developer. That's great, and you didn't feel free to contact me. That's good. The only thing that I am missing over here is why do I contact you? So if you are a software developer, you might be developing something specific. So you have to develop your when I'll tell you how to develop a brand. I'll tell you an example of one of my old employees. He's actually uh, somewhere else. I think he's studying somewhere outside now. Ankit Agrawal, just look at his profile. He was also a developer as well. First of all, few things to notice. Ankit Agrawal, top 100 customer success strategist, hosting world's number 2 customer success podcast. So that's just the way that he's presented it. Very clear in terms of who he is. If you look at his profile, ankitify.com, up over there, helping startups retain more customers and generate more revenue. That's his personal brand, right? What is your personal brand? Now your personal brand could be helping organize, writing code to improve one profile, and at like writing code to improve world one at a time, or something similar to that. So that's, you have to identify what's your headline. Make sure that you put it over there. Of course, your cover should be affected from there as well. I see that you are doing great job. But first of all, when I'm reviewing your profile, I don't know what type of developer you are. I can see the C hash. That's fine. So I know that you are probably good at C and C++. But then what I need to know is, what is it that you are passionate about doing and how you can actually help me, and why should I contact you? If you're saying feel free to contact me, maybe you are interested in more freelancing opportunities. So actually mention it over there, that passionate whatever, PHP developer, .NET developer with a flair or something like that, and then passionate .NET freelancer or something like that. Just a very nice crisp headline that tells people what you exactly do. One of the person that I really admire in this space is Shreya Pathar. If you look at her profile again, a very nice, clear brand: copywriter and content writer, LinkedIn campus editor, student of literary philosophy, and hashtag Shreya writes. As soon as I look at it, I know what she does. Even her sort of profile, she tells exactly what she do. Her cover page shows exactly what she does. So that's probably the first step to actually explore and sort of like create your own brand. All right, guys, we've got so many comments coming up, so I'll just try to answer them quickly. Guys, don't go. I'll attend to all of your comments. Don't worry about it. We'll come to you pretty soon. And if you have any further questions, feel free to just add it to the comments. AH Khan, hello, sir. Hello, AH Khan, saab, kya hal hai? Puran, hi, Puran, hello. Shubham, sir, I'm working hard to start business, but I'm lagging financially. To suggest me what to do. Shubham, what you have to do is you have to start by developing a minimum viable product. A minimum viable product is where you do not develop the full product or develop the full service. You start by creating something simple and testing it in the market. And once you have done that, you can grow your business from there. This thing is also called bootstrapping. I've done a full video on this. You can actually find it on my YouTube channel. But that's what I would suggest you to do is start by, rather than like providing 5 or 10 services or something like that, start by specializing in one thing. So if someone tells me that they want to open a restaurant, the very first thing that I tell them is, before opening a restaurant, identify one thing that you are good at, one dish that you are good at, whatever it is. You don't have to start with a lavish restaurant. You can start from a very simple street side stall. You can start from a food truck. You can start from a delivery based thing. You can start from your home based kitchen. You don't have to go and develop the full restaurant if you do not have the money. Because if I had the money when I started, then I would have done so many things. But rather than complaining about it, I identified what was that thing that I could do in that amount of money and did it from there. So that's what you need to do. You need to bootstrap, develop a minimum viable product, test the product in the concept, and then grow it from there. And if you start lagging financially, then there's definitely a problem with your balance sheet, because it's a very simple formula: revenue minus cost is equal to profit. So you need to ensure that your revenue is coming first and then you are incurring cost. Otherwise, there's something wrong with your business model, or you're into a business that requires a lot of upfront investment. Change your line. Think about a business model where you do not need a whole lot of an upfront investment. Divya Chawla, best mentor ever, Amir sir. Oh, thank you so much, Divya. It's a nice, very nice compliment. You made my day. So thank you so much. It gives me a lot of happiness and pleasure if I'm able to, even there's so many people that are watching this live session, but even if I could influence one of yours life in any way, then I would feel that my purpose is solved. So if you, anyone listening to it out there, if you feel that have touched your life or influenced your life in any way, then please let me know, because that's my earning. That's all I need. That's what gives me happiness. That what drives me. Right now it's 3:22 a.m. in Australia. I have a meeting at 9 a.m. I will sleep 4 hours tonight. The reason I'm doing this live session is because I'm really passionate about helping you guys succeed. And if I could make any influence in anyone's life out there, I will be so happy with my efforts. That's all I need. Jiten Chaudhary, you are awesome mentor. Thank you so much, Jiten. That's really lovely to hear that. Really appreciate that. Mohammed Junaid Suzuki, dear Amir sir, good suggestion. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate that. Deepak Nama, nice. Thank you so much. Ruby Sani, actually, I don't have that kind of background. I'll be doing my own. So budget is the main concern for me, financial problem. Look, Ruby, when I started, I was from a family where no one ever was involved in business. My father was from a government job. My mother was a housewife. They always wanted me to be a doctor. I became an engineer. But anyway, so my father wanted me to be in a government job. Never had any funding to start my business with. And most of the people that you would see are doing very well, they did not have a financial background. And that's completely okay. Of course, you need finance to start a business, but you don't need a huge finance to start a business. There are some business that you can bootstrap or do from very small investment. So any service-based business doesn't require a huge investment, because it's your time initially, it's your process initially. If you are reselling a product, that doesn't require any investment. If you are drop shipping a product, that doesn't require any investment. Even if you're like selling a product, what you could do is you can make partnerships with the producers or whatever, and start your business without a huge amount of financial investment. You don't need a huge amount of financial investment to start a business. Of course, finance money speeds up the thing. For example, if I have to start a business, I would just put some money towards it to actually quickly grow it. But if you bring me again, and that's what I discuss about, is like, I am not fearful of losing money or losing even my company or whatever, unless I've got my skills. Because what I have gained, the experience and the lessons that I've gained through all of my entrepreneurship journey is that if even if I don't have money, as long as I've got my skills, and as long as I'm passionate about something, if I have to start something from the scratch, I would be able to do so. I might not be able to, like, right now, if I start a business, I could get it up and running in 3 to 6 months, but it might take me 2 years without the money, but I would be able to get it up. So Ruby, your struggle would be a bit harder, of course, because you don't have money, but you would be able to get there. And that's my whole take on the whole nepotism thing as well. The thing is that there is definitely a shortcut for the people who have got money, who have like politician parents or actor parents or whatever. There's definitely a shortcut for them, but we don't need to compare ourselves to anyone out there. We don't need to complain as well. What we have to do is we have to look at ourselves and see how we can progress towards something as well. Even if it takes them 3 months to start a business, that's fine for them. If you are passionate about starting a business, you start tonight, you start from tonight. Even if it takes 2 years, that's fine. You just got to give it a go. uh, Empires are not built overnight. You have to work hard and work meticulously, but you will be able to succeed. That's my guarantee. If you just keep on it, be persistent, determined, you will be able to succeed. You will be able to establish your own business. You might face some of the failures, and be prepared for that, but that's it. Once you cross those hurdles, you will learn from them, and you will be able to grow your business from there. Mohammad Wasim, thank you, sir. You are most welcome, sir. Prince Goyal, at some, we think that our startup idea is not much good according to Mark. In that situation, you should do a big change in idea. You should carry forward the same idea. Prince, I think what you think, or what I think, or what even investors think do not matter a lot, or matter at all. Airbnb, such a big startup now, they went to nine investors, and nine investors, not individual investors, nine investment groups rejected the startups, like completely rejected their startup, because they said the idea is not good enough. So investors made that mistake. So you might feel that the startup idea is not good enough, but it doesn't matter. What you have to do is you have to test it out in the market, do a survey, a simple minimum viable product, put it out in the market, test if it worked or not. If it did not work, then you don't need to make a drastic change. Listen to your customers, make a small change in one of the areas. So I talk about business model canvas. So business model canvas has got 9 areas: your value proposition, your partners, your market, and things like that. So you don't have to change the full business model. Make one simple change on the basis of the customer feedback, and that's called pivoting. And pivoting is the most important part of a startup journey. So you make one smaller change and push it out to the market again, and then you test it in the market, and then see what comes out of that. The thing that you were tested, is there any improvement or not? If there's any improvement, then you sort of make small tweaks and then make it better, and so on. So rather than making a huge change, unless your customers tell you to do so, what I would recommend is listen to your customers, listen to your customer feedback, and develop product with them. One of the biggest mistake that people do is that they develop the full product and then put it out to the market, and then they say, oh, customers are not using it, and we need more money for marketing. Maybe our marketing is not right, and they will hire one salesperson, another salesperson, and fire them. That's the wrong approach. You don't build the product for the customers, but you build the product with the customers. So you actually develop a very small version of your product, put it on the market, test it with the customers, listen to their feedback, what they are saying, and then develop it further. Again, do not develop it fully, develop it in small iteration, and that's how you would be able to create a successful startup product. Mohammad Asim, sir, you're a big inspiration for us. Thank you so much, brother. Look, I'm extremely glad. And again, as I said, the reason I am doing it is because when I was in the same shoes, I did not have anyone to look up to. Like, I would read books from like foreign authors and things like that, but most of them came from like privileged countries, or countries with resources and things like that, or some of them came from very privileged background. So I did not have a lot of examples to look up to, a lot of people to actually get experiences from. So I always wanted like a mentor or someone who could actually guide me through this process, and someone to look up to. And the reason now I spend time and talk about my journey and share, even what I'm earning and things like that, the whole purpose of doing it is so that I could inspire the upcoming generation and tell them that it's possible, brother. It's possible. And if you give it a try, no matter which background you come from, what is the color of your skin, whether you've got beard or not, what country you come from, what is your financial status, it does not matter. If you are passionate about something, if you are persistent and determined enough, you will definitely become successful. Even your education level does not matter. Even if you are 10th fail, you are 12th pass, you are a bachelor's, you are a PhD, doesn't matter. If you are passionate about something and if you try hard enough, then you will definitely succeed in that thing. Lakhan Soni, how you enjoy your work? Lakhan, I actually the whole reason I'm successful, and it's a great question. The whole reason, Lakhan, I'm successful is because I only do the work that I'm passionate about. I only follow my passion. I only follow my interest. Of course, establishing a company, I have to learn a lot of things, but I'm still following my passion. I'm still doing my business in the field that I like to do it. I do not do business because like my motivation was never to earn a lot of money. I always want to be like just have enough money to be able to sustain. Even now my motivation is not to earn money. My motivation is to be able to enjoy what I'm doing, and the freedom and the independence that I get just by the having the power to be able to do what I do is such a huge blessing for me. The whole reason I'm in entrepreneurship is because it gives me that freedom to be able to do what I want to do with my life. And that's actually huge. That's very rewarding, and that's a huge blessing for me. And I feel I'm very fortunate enough to be able to do that. And that's why I enjoy my work, because I do what I enjoy. I do what I'm passionate about, do what I like, and I don't do what I don't like. Even if there's a profitable deal out there, and if I feel that won't be, I won't enjoy it, I would never do it. There was so many offers of jobs and things like that that offered me huge salaries, like business class tickets and penthouse flats and things like that. And the whole reason I rejected them was because I knew that I'm not going to enjoy those jobs. Or even there were some business offers out there as well. There were some businesses that did not, that could never resonate with me. I was actually given a partnership offer in a huge, betting is legal in Australia. I was given a partnership in a sports bet company, offered a partnership, but I declined because it doesn't confine to sort of my beliefs. My beliefs, I do not endorse betting. I'm not involved in betting, so I sort of just let it go. So the ability to say no to the things that you don't like is the whole reason that I'm passionate about entrepreneurship. Mohammad Wasim, thank you so much. Mudassar Khan, Assalamu alaikum, Amir bhai. In India, how can we start our business? Because there are a lot of pros and cons in India, and the taxes and affiliation. Look, the thing is, Mudassar, let's talk about taxes. You only pay taxes when you earn money, right? So I think paying tax is the best problem that a person can actually have. And people who complain about taxes, uh, especially at a higher income level, I think are doing an injustice to themselves. Because like I pay a huge amount of tax and my business pay a huge amount of tax, and I feel happy about paying taxes because it means my income is that much that I'm able to pay the taxes. So when you say there are a lot of pros and cons in India, there are a lot of pros and cons everywhere. The amount of taxation in Australia is crazy. If you are earning above a particular income level, you are paying 50, almost 45% in tax. That's absolutely crazy. That absolutely killing. Even the GST over here is killing, right? And the even the your obligation to employees and things like that, it's just really bad. It's killing. But the thing is that it's everywhere around the world. So you cannot justify not going in entrepreneurship just because of the taxes and affiliation. You can navigate all of those things. You can hire a nice accountant to help you with that, and hire a nice lawyer to do deal with that, and that's fine. The main thing is actually creating a value for your customers, solving a problem or need for your customers, and solving it in a via your own unique process. If you are able to do that, then your business would be successful, and you would not have any problems paying the taxes or any affiliations as such at all. And I feel that India is a very good country to do business in, because the market is huge, the market is open, and even the legislation is, I would say, is fine. Like, I don't see any legislation problems in India that would have any adverse effect on the business. Government also might not play its full role in promoting the businesses, but I think the environment is fine to be able to do the business. You cannot justify the financial regulations or taxes or anything as a con of opening the business. It's there. It's just a part of it. You just consider it in your cost. You just consider it in your prices and so on. Sarwar Hussain, are you planning to expand your business in Europe like Poland or Germany? I actually am thinking of that. Yes, please. So again, I'm open to learn, and I do not have much idea about the culture over there and the business over there. I have dealt with US. I have dealt with a bit with UK, but mainly I have sort of dealt a lot in Malaysia and Singapore and Dubai, and I'm sort of pretty familiar with those environments. I haven't dealt a lot with the European market. So yes, would be happy to explore that. Again, as I said, I don't say no to a lot of things. If there's something that's interesting, I'm happy to explore those things. Ruby Seni, thank you, sir. You're most welcome. Prince Goel, at some point, okay. Prince, I'll take your question because I have to take someone else's question as well. But I'll read your comment quickly. At some point, we think that startup idea is not much good according to market situation. Okay, so we have already gone through this. Prince Goel, entrepreneurship is equal to risk. Absolutely, 100%. Like there's going to be risk in entrepreneurship because you are moving in uncharted territory. But that's all right. That's a part of it, right? If you think of it as a ride, like think of it as a roller coaster ride. हम लोग सब ऐसे ही आए थे यार लाइफ में. पैसा लेके कौन आया था जिंदगी में? ऐसे ही आए थे, ऐसे ही लौटना है. क्या प्रॉब्लम है? थोड़ा सा पैसा खो दोगे, थोड़ा सा जो है टाइम खो दोगे. जब तक जान है तब तक जहान है. अगर इफ यू डोंट ट्राई and if you waste your life like this, then you will regret it for your lifetime. If you try and if you lose some money here and there, that's fine. If you keep trying, you will definitely become successful. Don't wait for the success, just enjoy the journey, just enjoy the flow, and give it a go. Because if you don't give it a go now, then it's just going to be too late. So if you are thinking of your own venture, give it a go. I'm not saying that you will succeed. You will fail, but you will fail for the first time, you'll fail for the second time, but if you keep trying, then you will succeed from there. If you succeed in the first time, then that's definitely good. But don't go in there thinking that you will succeed straight away. You might face smaller failures, but you learn from those failures, and then you eventually grow from there. Jitin Chaudhary, thanks a lot. I already sacrificed too many things, still learn and slow walks to achieve my goal. Well done, Jitin. All the very best, and I hope you follow the tips and let me know how you went with there. Mohammad Wasim, how to prepare for fresher interviews for pharmaceutical industry? Wasim, I'll actually make a video for the full fresher interview because you have asked this, and a lot of people have asked me this. So I'll definitely make a specific video for this. King, sir, where do you host your websites? I host it on AWS, some on Google Cloud, and some on SiteGround. Do you have personal servers or you rent them? I never have personal servers. I always use third-party servers, but I have got like private cloud purchased from them. Being a public figure, do you fear getting hacked? Yes, actually, because I manage a lot of my company manages a lot of website of my clients, and we talk about security ourselves. So there's always a fear that we might get hacked, and that's true because every time you enforce security, there are sort of like better hackers out there who are attacking. You know, like 2 months ago there was a big attack that was done on all of the Australian websites. Even some of the big hospital websites went down, and some of the major organizations went down. But touchwood, the websites that were managed by my organization, then even my websites, were not compromised, because we have a lot of focus on the security. And anyone listening out there, a very good career idea is actually in cybersecurity, because cybersecurity is going to be more and more essential, especially once we go into Internet of Things. Everything will have a chip or sensor, and everything might will have the challenge of being hacked. So even your cars would be able to being hacked, and so on. And that's where you would need people who would be able to provide security. So the need of cyber security engineers is going to go up pretty fast. Prince Goel said, Jiten Chaudhary, please don't forget to enjoy the journey of startup. That's right, bro. Definitely. And anyone out there who's already in entrepreneurship thinking about it, just give a pat on your back, and just think about the stuff that you are doing. Whenever I used to feel stressed, instead of worrying about my problems and things like that, I used to look back and see the level of distance that I have traveled, but also the knowledge that I have gained through the process. Then I used to think, okay, that's fine. If I fail in my business, that's all right. But the level of knowledge that I have gained through this process, I could have never gained it if I was just working in a very plain day job. And that was in a large organization. And that was a motivating factor for me. So it's very right that don't forget to enjoy the journey, because it's लाइफ इज ऑल अबाउट हैविंग फन. मैं अपनी लाइफ में कुछ नहीं करता अगर मुझे मजा नहीं आए. इट्स एज सिंपल एज दैट. और सक्सेसफुल होने के लिए ये सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट चीज होती है. Avneet Singh, sir, we are going to launch e-commerce website for industrial products, www.industrialbone.com, manufacturer to consumer model. Please suggest best idea to promote. We are going to launch e-commerce website for industrial products, industrialbone.com, manufacturer to consumer model. Okay, so you are looking at a consumer model. Sabse pehle to, Avneet, you have to identify what is that particular need that consumers have that you are trying to solve. You are probably providing industrial products to consumers. First of all, look at who your competitors are, if there are any in the market. And if not, then identify how you would position your business in front of your customers, and then put a huge focus on digital marketing. So especially with the e-commerce websites, first of all, look at who your target customers are. So there would be specific type of your target customers, and think about what is the information that they need. So rather than just trying to sell your products, you have to start by educating your customers and by developing a community. So when I say developing a community, you start by actually having your profiles on, of course, Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook and so on. Create a Facebook group. For example, if I have to sell, say, products for farmers, for example, tractors to farmers, right? Now, we are seeing that there are a lot of kids of farmers who are very educated, right? So what I'll do is I'll start with a Facebook group and a LinkedIn group. Not probably LinkedIn, but more of a Facebook group. That's not selling my products, but that's just educating farmers about things. And then on my website itself, I'll have a blog which would actually just educate people. And to read that blog, people would have to provide their email address or mobiles or whatever. Once you have got their email addresses and mobiles, then it's much easier from there, because you can then put them in an email marketing funnel and then send it from there. The second thing that I will do is I'll focus a lot on Instagram. Set up an Instagram shop, do a reel every single day, and go live once in a week just with the actual products that are in your warehouse, or just talk about the products themselves. And then use Facebook pay-per-click marketing to target your customers on Instagram and Facebook both. I have seen that Facebook ads work much better than the Google ads themselves, especially for business to consumer products. Once they come to your website, the objective there is to capture their details uh, initially, rather than just trying to sell them something. So have a very nice, clear offer either via developing an ebook or something that's actually worth them providing their email address. Once you have their email address, you can set up a full automated email marketing funnel that sends them 15 emails, one email every week about something which is educative to them, which develops that trust, develops that brand. And on the side, you can actually start promoting your products to them. And that's how you build a full funnel. So you actually, there's your top of the funnel, where you're attracting people through your Instagram reels, IGTV stories, uh, and then your Facebook ads. Through that funnel, all of people are coming to your Facebook group and your website, going through your blog, downloading the material that you're providing their email address. That's your middle of the funnel. And then bottom of the funnel is, once you have captured their email addresses, then you are remarketing to them through your emails. But secondly, you have got your Facebook pixel and Google pixel installed in your e-commerce website, so that you are remarketing to the customers who are visiting your website. When you visit a website and you go somewhere and you start seeing the ads about that particular website, that's called remarketing. Extremely important to actually ensure that you have got remarketing enabled in your e-commerce website, so that if someone looks at a particular product and they leave, whatever they watch, YouTube, Google, whatever, they always see the ads of that particular product, and then you reach out back to them by promoting that product to them. Because a customer would not just come on your e-commerce and buy straight away from there, but if they go look at a product, go away, then you sort of can go back. Secondly, an important thing is cart abandonment. Extremely important. I'll do a video on cart abandonment specifically. Ensure that you have got cart abandonment funnel in place in your e-commerce website as well. Ashwin, great session. Thanks, Amar. You're most welcome. Ruby saying, everything stopping me is budget. Anything I can start with zero investment. You can start a lot of things with zero investment, Ruby. The very first thing that I would encourage you to do is create your profile on fiverr.com, freelancer.com, and upwork.com. It's free. Start working as a freelancer. Start offering your services as a freelancer. That's the very first thing that I would like to start. Start working as a freelancer, and then once you have earned some money, then you can grow your business from there. Shivam Swain, sir, I have 3 years. Okay, guys, it's pretty late, so I'll just take 4 more questions, and then I'll let you go. I'll just answer the questions very quickly. Sir, I have 3 years gap after BTech due to competitive exam preparation. Please guide me where to start. If you've got 3 years of gap after BTech due to competitive examination preparation, Shivam, that's all right. What you have to do is, I don't know which BTech you have done, but start by getting some experience by doing some freelancing gigs. So right now, straight away, start doing some freelancing gigs, find out some freelancing work, and start gaining some experience, so that you can actually develop and get some experience. And once you have gained some of the project experience, then you can start reaching out to the organization and start applying for the jobs from there. Reach out to 50 people on LinkedIn every single day, 50 recruiters, and just reach out to them with genuine connection requests. Talk to them for the next 30 days or for the next whatever days, until unless you get a job. But make sure you make a habit of reaching out to 50 people every single day, and building genuine connection on LinkedIn. Lucky Tyagi, hi sir, how are you? Good, thanks. Prince Goyal, this idea is very useful. Prince Kalyan, hello sir, I have a startup idea. Can you please give a chance to tell about my idea? Yes, Prince, you can actually go. All right, guys, anyone watching out there, if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagram. My ID is Amir Kutub. You can actually DM me on Instagram, and then my team members would get in touch with you. They'll send you, ask you to fill up a form, and then we can go take it from there. Sayed Amjad, how to market your skills being a web developer in an interview. Sayed Amjad, sorry, I will. Okay. So the best way to market your skills in being a web developer in an interview is actually by showcasing your portfolio. So make sure you have got a very strong portfolio, and start by showing the examples of the work that you have done. Nothing speaks better about your skills than the actual work that you have done. If you do not have a lot of portfolio, just make some dummy websites for dummy companies, or just sort of reach out to whatever shops out there, small businesses out there, and tell them that you want to do their website for free. At least have 5 nice websites in your portfolio. I think that would be extremely important. uh, Prince Kalyan, hello sir. I have a multi-billion startup idea. Can you please share at least once an idea with me? Yes, reach out to me on Instagram. Zainul Wasim, sir, I want to become an entrepreneur. I did engineering and doing MBA for this. How to find a good way to start up? I'm currently searching market gap in my city that will be convenient for my startup. So a good point to get your startup up and running is actually by identifying the problem, identifying the challenge. First, look at 5 problems, 5 challenges that you see. Send those problems to me, and then what we'll do is I'll actually help you test them out. We'll do a proper testing uh, out there, and then we'll identify a solution for that. And then once you've identified the solution, we'll develop a very simple minimum viable product, again tested in the market, and then take it from there. So we'll just follow the whole lean startup methodology one by one. Start by identifying the problem, and then we'll take it from there. Make sure, Zainul, that you attend my next session, Zan, and tell me what are the problems that you have identified and how you have validated those problems. Abdullah Imran, Assalamu alaikum, I'm Rai from Legal. Can you help hybrid development startup looking for projects? Or you are a hybrid app development startup looking for projects? Reach out to hr@enterprisemonkey.com.au. Also, send an email to me at hello@amirkutub.com. Tell them that you are a hybrid app development startup. You're looking for projects. My team would be able to actually help you with some of the work, because we do a lot of work in hybrid app development. Ruby Sunny, thank you so much. Bhargavi, how to compete with IIT and IT students. Also, there are some IIT alumni startups who make average college student feel inferior and ask them to do free internship. Okay, first of all, with internship, first internship for free, that's fine. You can do that. No problem. You have to start somewhere. Don't do second and third internship for free. If you're gaining good value from first internship, don't do second and third internship for free. That's number one thing. The second thing is compete with IIT and IT student. Didn't I tell you about my Honda interview? First of all, I was not eligible for my Honda interview because my marks was less. I was from AMU. When I went for interview, there were students mainly from IIT and IT. There were some students from Delhi University over there, and I think I was the only student from my college out there. No, like the whatever interviews happened and everything happened. After that, all of those there were around 30 students. They were actually shortlisted. Most of them from IIT and IT. Only 4 were selected. 2 were from IIT, 1 was from NIT, and another one was me. And I actually had those IIT and NIT students working with me in Honda. And then we were actually having a discussion, and they were talking about the technical things and so on. And they were pretty good with some of those technical things. They were great as well. But I actually had my own strengths, and I sort of competed on the basis of my own strengths. So you don't have to worry about competing with IIT or NIT students, because your college doesn't matter. What matters is what you have done so far, and what's the experience that you have gained by working what you have done. Spargavi, don't worry about how to compete with an IT and IT student, whatever it is. Identify your niche, develop your own personal brand, stand out from everyone else, and that will make you successful. I never went to IIT. I never went to IIM. I never went to any elite college. I never had very good marks. I was able to do all of this because I created my own niche, followed my passion, and just followed it persistently and determined. And that actually helped me reach to this level. Chanan Sharma, thank you so much. You're most welcome. Salman Khujasani, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. Uday Kiran, thoughts or ideas, participate in hackathons, you will get investors. That's a great idea, everyone, guys. Uday has provided a very nice idea. participates in hackathons, you will get investor. That's a very, very nice idea. If you are interested in technical products, definitely participate in hackathons. Participate in events, participate in meetups, go and attend conferences. That will help you learn a lot, help you get out of your day-to-day work, also help you build the network as well. All right, guys, one last question. uh Wakar Dongre, hi Amir, hope you're doing great. You're from one of the best mentors I know. Can you say a little about where you are from in India and your education, a little bit about how hardworking you were in degree BTech and MBA? Because so many people think only I-10 is genius, because people can only succeed in their career. Wakar, definitely. So Wakar, thank you so much for acknowledging me. I'm actually from Aligarh, Uttar Pradesh in India. I was born in Saharanpur, was in Aligarh. The very first time I actually had KFC was after I completed my BTech, because Aligarh mein, we didn't have any KFC, we didn't have any Subway as well, and I was like mainly staying in Aligarh. I did not travel to Delhi much as well. So this was like the first time I tasted KFC was over here. I never went to Subway in India. When in Australia, I went to Subway for the very first time. It was a very daunting process because there were so many breads to choose and so on. So I'm like a proper small town guy. Uh, Also about he's also asking about how hard working you were in your degree BTech and MBA. Look, I was not I was very hard working, following my own passion, but I was not very regular with my classes. I used to bunk a lot of classes. I spent a lot of time outside the classroom participating in extracurricular activities that helped me develop my skills that are actually needed. The skills that you learn in classroom, you only use 10 or 15% of that if you are lucky, but the skills that you learn out of the classroom are the most and the most important skills. And that's what I did during my BTech and MBA. So I spent most of my time outside of the classroom, most of my time away from my academic books, and that's one of the most important contributing factor to my success. But I did not waste my time when I was away. I was learning new skills, trying different things, and that contributed. I was not just sitting at dhabas or just doing ayashi. Of course, I used to sit at dhabas. I did everything that a young person would did, like all that ashiki one, ashiki two stuff as well. Did all of that, but I focused on developing my skills as well, and that has contributed to my success. All right, last question from Gitanjali, and that's it. Gitanjali saying, of course, as a young achiever, you could have just walked away with all appreciations. In spite of your busy schedule, you're making time. It's amazing how grounded you will have generally. You're just as inspiration, not just to achieve professionally, but how well to give it back. Thank you so much, Gitanjali. That's really warming. That's really touching. Look, as I said, क्या है ना कि मुझको, and this is something that I would like to probably say in Hindi, because it's very close to my heart. I was challenged at each and every step. मुझे हर step पे जो है challenge किया गया, हर step पे बोला गया जो तुम कर रहे हो वो गलत है. This is not the way to go. और मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा discourage किया गया from everyone, from the whole society itself. मेरे teachers ने मजाक उड़ाया, ठीक है, आसपास वाले लोगों ने मजाक उड़ाया. But I was just kept pursuing it, and I did not know what I am doing is right or not. और जब कभी भी failure आता, सब लोग बोलते, देखो हमने बोला था, क्या हो गया? Whenever I failed in business, everyone said, look, we told you. Whenever I failed in whatever I tried, every time I failed, there were people who were there laughing at me. Of course, there were some people who supported me, but majority of people were laughing at me, and there was so many times I was just doubting about myself. And that was extremely painful for me. And that's when I decided that if I ever become successful in life, then I'll go back and tell everyone that what is being told to you is not the truth. What is being told to you about being compromising and that this is not the way it works, that's all fake, that's all false. And that's why I'm just following that promise that I did to myself when I was struggling. And that promise was, if I become successful, then I'll make sure that I take this message and ensure that I spread this message out to everyone. And now when I'm successful, I'm just fulfilling that promise that I made to myself at that point of time. Because a person should never ever forget what he was. A person should never forget his roots. A person should never forget where he actually came from. And person should not be first of all discouraged by the challenges and problems that he faces, and a person should not be too much in the air by the success he gets. Because वक्त के साथ, समय के साथ, टाइम के साथ एक चीज सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट ये होती है कि वक्त जो है गुजर जाता है। चाहे अच्छा वक्त हो वो भी गुजर जाता है, चाहे बुरा वक्त हो वो भी गुजर जाता है। ठीक है, आई हैव टेस्टेड फेलियर्स, आई हैव टेस्टेड सक्सेस, आई माइट टेस्ट फेलियर्स अगेन। बट जो इंसान जमीन से जुड़ा होता है, जो इंसान मेहनत करने के लिए तैयार होता है, उसके लिए फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि वो फेलियर टेस्ट कर रहा है या सक्सेस टेस्ट कर रहा है। मैं फेलियर को भी उसी तरीके से एंजॉय करता था, सक्सेस को भी उसी तरीके से एंजॉय करता हूँ। आज भी फेल होता हूँ, उसको उसी तरीके से एंजॉय करता हूँ। बट द ओनली थिंग आई वुड नेवर फॉरगेट इज हु एम आई एंड वेयर आई कम फ्रॉम। And that's why I'm not doing a favor to you by giving it back. I'm doing a favor to myself by sharing this thing with you, because it reminds me who I was and where I come from. And with this note, guys, thank you so much, everyone. If you're not following me on Instagram, please make sure you follow me on Instagram, because I come more live more often. I share some insights that I only share on Instagram. I'll be live again, same time, Thursday, 9 p.m. on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. And I'll be coming more live often on Instagram as well. And sorry if I miss your questions. I'll go back and answer all of your questions, I promise. Please let me know in the comment section how was today's session, and what did you find most interesting and important about today's session. I'll read all of your comments. I'll respond to all of your comments. That's my promise. Thank you so much, guys. Have a very great night. All the best. Keep it up, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.